welcome, Luke. Welcome, welcome. Wonderful to have you back here.
Welcome to Brother Talk. We're brothers and we talk.
Yes, indeed, and like all of us, right here, we're all
All of us are brothers.
well. We all have that connection, no. So let's get to it, shall we? Let's see. So today's overall theme and topic will be talking about spiritual warfare and how that
Yes.
affects our daily lives. And so let's start off with Luke right here. So what made you like how does spiritual warfare necessarily affect affect your daily life? How do
Yeah,
that?
no, so like spiritual warfare, the reason why I wanted to discuss about this is because it feels like it's a more stronger presence that's becoming more prevalent in today's culture. Um it's like comparable to like in scripture, back to like the days of Abraham, in the sense of like people were going down wicked ways, whether they cared or not about, what God thought, if they didn't even believe in God existence and everything. Um it's just that spiritual warfare is kind of just like something that's constant within our lives, whether you want to recognize it as true and tangible or not, you know? Um, and so spiritual warfare affects my life in the way of just like, as a Christian, I'm trying to be convicted by the Holy Spirit, what the Holy Spirit's telling me what to do and what to guide me. But also, there's a lot of demonic influence where, because we're in such a dark time and such a separation from God's heart and from God and righteousness, we allow those sort of influence affect us on a regular basis, whether we recognize it or not. And so, if we have a more better understanding of what spiritual warfare looks like, individually in our lives, we'll be more equipped in knowing how to choose the Holy Spirit versus the demonic influences in our life.
Got you. Interesting that you
Yeah.
brought up too, like with how you're saying like nowadays or like with demonic influences, how like much it impacts your life. And I want to mention one thing, at least one question, where like we talk about demonic influences and with God and staying uh like going his path and whatnot. So I have this question. Do you believe that there can be a good without the bad, at least on earth? Like, do you believe there's there's gonna be a need for both good and bad in order to exist, so one or the other can exist? And so, what do you think about that? Do you think we can live without the bad or live without the good?
Well, I feel like even God knew that it was inevitable that evil was going to exist and corrupt humanity, because like we'll have to like sort of look back to like Adam and Eve, where they were warned by God not to eat from the tree of good, of knowledge of good and evil, because they would now not be like, innocent of evil or good in that knowledge. Like would still kind of be mature as adults but and wise, but kind of like innocent like a baby, in the sense where you don't understand what good looks like, you don't understand what evil looks like. um so I'm hearing my voice echo, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
Do you have like, yeah, like it's like a slight echo. It's
I
just
know, I
like,
got you. All right, it's
yeah,
gonna
I
show
don't
up
know
for a
what's.
bit. Hold on, let me help you out. There you go. How about now? Oh, all right. How about now?
I unmuted my Discord. Does that work?
Oh, you unmuted Discord? Let me help you out.
Yeah.
What about now? You good? You hear me? Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Oh, how about now? Oh, we're just stuck here. No worries. All right. Yeah. To kind of expand on it too with good and bad. Like not related with Christianity, but like, you know, the yin and yang and all that fun stuff. Like where like you got like the white, you got the black. So there's like this thing where like if you have everything all white, there's not really meaning to like what you're doing. And if you have everything all black, same thing. There's not really any meaning or like let's say purpose, anything like that. So like it kind of defines like basically if all you're doing is like let's say focused on the bad or whatnot, you're always gonna feel like there's no meaning. And if you're always focused on the good, you know, it's like same thing. So like that's why it's one thing where I think we shouldn't be like with spiritual warfare and everything like that. I would say if we're always focused, like let's say with the good, like always think the world is like all rainbows and unicorns and all this other stuff. Let's say just in general, it's like life is gonna be pretty hard for us, you know, like when we experience some kind of bad thing because we're not accepting of like you know the bad and all that. But like let's say if we're all focused on the bad, same thing. Like we're always gonna doubt other people's intentions, like when they do good and kindness and thus, and we're always gonna see the world in a bad light. So that's why I feel like we do need both, but in a sense where like the bad could like make us stronger. Like whatever it is, temptations, doing bad things, like any of this other stuff, like it could be a wall, or not a wall, like a building block in order to grow stronger. So that's why I feel like whenever something bad happens in my life, stress, any like any bad influence or whatnot, I learn from it. So I know that like I can improve further to like, stay on track to who I am, Um, just it's all like that because I would feel like we shouldn't so much try to be a good person, but envision on what like what kind of person that you want to be, like what kind of good person you want to be, because like if we all we do is just try, we're not really being true to ourselves. But instead, if we have like a vision of what a good person is and we work towards that, I think it'll be better than like um I talked about. I don't want to get off topic with it, but like niceness and kindness, and I feel like kindness is more important. But we talked about it last time, and let me ask another question. Just I would say, just back to oh yeah, you got one? Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. We brush upon it. Hmm. Yeah, I get you. Want to mention one quote too that I found was it was I think I put it one time. It was like something about it where it mentioned that niceness without honesty is just manipulation, and then kindness, like being nice with honesty, that's basically kindness. Like if you're being true to yourself and like true to others, that's like being kind, whatever it is. I mean, if you see someone doing like if someone, whatever it is, like are doing wrong or doing anything, like just in general, like you'll mention it. It's like, hey man, this is pretty wrong. Like you're not gonna like support them on their like downwards path, either if like sad or whatnot. Like if they're sad or whatnot, just like, be there for them and like support them. But don't support like them on like one go down like even further, or support their complaining, or support whatever harmful thing, like that's why it's better to be a kind person and genuine. But that's just like just a genuine outlooks with it. But yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. And let me see right here. Yeah. So just a quick question too. Going back to that. Um Now I want to dive deep into like happiness and all that fun stuff. Not necessarily the topic happiness, but it's just which you think um like there's a study that was done. It was like a group of what was it? It was a group of like 70 people that was done on. It was like somewhere like I found I was like well relating to Andrew Huberman and all that fun stuff, but it was like this question that I found interesting or developed is like which did you think made more people happy? Was it the people that focused on their weaknesses, the my fault, weakness, and like worked on the weakness, or is it the people that focus on the strength and their talents? Like, which do you think really like made it more happy? Yeah. Well, I'll tell you the results right now. The results came out that people that focus more on the weaknesses were actually way more happy than the people focusing on the strengths. So that's the crazy thing. And I kind of relate to that as well. As I talked about like my past, like with the gym and all that, I was more happy doing that, the journey and all that, because like, I wasn't like strong at the moment. Like, and then I was working on my weakness. Like, hey man, it's like that building character, that development, like you enjoy it and all that. It's probably something with the brain as well, like the AMAC, which is like for, um, like there's one part of the brain, it's called the AMC, and it like only grows. if you do something hard, if you like do something out of discipline, which is so crazy that we have that ingrained in us. So that's what I want to mention, that like the people that focus on the strengths showed less results of happiness, and that's because, again, comfortability, as we always talk about, because they feel too comfortable with what they're doing with the strengths and whatnot. Like I feel like this can go two sides. So relating this to back to spiritual warfare, it's more so, let's say we have a weakness with a sin we're committing, or like whatever it is. If you focus more like on getting out of that sin, like if you focus more on other things, it would be way better. It would be way better. Yeah. Huh? Oh, oh, ignore that, ignore that, ignore that. All right, here we are. All right, what was it? Oh yeah, about oh my god, uh, damn, I forgot what to say. Shoot, what was it? What was it? Oh, weakness. Okay, focus more on your sins. Yeah, okay, okay. Let's hope Cass adds this well. But like, let me tell you something. So like with where'd you go? What the? No. Luke. Oh, you there? Bro, my mouse disappeared too. Everything disappeared. This is horrendous. Oh my god. Hold on. Oh, actually no, that's perfect too, honestly, because I forgot to record. Hold on. Yeah, so we can ignore all that. That was just like a practice run. It's okay, it's okay. Hold on. But now I don't have my mouse. Oh my god. I don't have my mouse, bro. We good, we good. I think that was like a spiritual sign that, like, hey man, stop the stream. So like we can see the map, or so you can record. Nah, hey bro. I unplugged my Ethernet by accident. Hold on. Yeah, I'm sorry recording. Alright, there we go. I can't see my mouse though. It's so crazy, but it's okay. Don't worry, don't worry. Yeah, it'll be good. I got it. Hold on, let me. Okay, there we go. Let's continue. So, no, we good, we good. I got you. Don't stress. So let let me mention something though, just to change topics real quick. Get on new fresh slate. It's let's see. Do you believe we have to fight for what we believe? With spiritual warfare, there's always like some kind of war, like between good and evil. Do you? Oh, did we not finish the study? Well, basically, all I was gonna say, it was just like with sin, weakness, and all that. If you focus more on, you know, the weakness and like why you're doing it, or like the root problem, the weakness, to like see your strengths, like, oh, if you just say I'm a Christian, it's like, and you focus like on your faith of God, like not faith of God. Like if you just say like, hey man, like I'm strong like this, I don't have to do temptations or sins. Like you're always gonna fail. So that's why it's better to focus on your weaknesses, or yeah, focus on your weaknesses so you can grow from that with sin. But I want to hear your input, because that's basically what it is. What I have to say. Yeah. So one thing I want to relate with that, it's more so think of it like a jail cell. Like if like with the sins, temptation, whatever it is, think of it as like a comfortable jail cell, but the door is always open when you're alive and all that. The door is always open to leave and like pursue goodness. But once like you pass or something happens and you stayed like comfortable in that jail cell, it's gonna close. It's gonna close right up and you'll be stuck. You know, and that's why with like getting out temptations, you're trying to exit that comfortable jail cell. You're trying to exit. You're trying to follow God's path or the good path. That's what it is. And yeah, that's just like one metaphor. I want to relate with that. Interesting indeed, though. Back to the other question, though, I wanted to bring up, which is pretty important. It's like, do you believe we have to fight for what we believe in? Got you. Well, let's see right here. Interesting that you brought it up with how you're saying it's like the armor or the shields. Right? And like with that, I never really saw it like that. I don't really see like if I do a sin or not, do I have armor? I would see it as like more of a spirit aspect or a soul. It's like if I'm doing that, I think, okay, how can this benefit me? How can I improve from this? Like if I did something, like if I did whatever, like from the bad, whatever it is, I always think, how can I turn this thing into good? You know, same thing. Like if you're gonna mention with Adam, like how he consumed the the fruit and all that, the apple, whatever it is, like he got the good knowledge of good and evil. And but then if you think about it, like after that, God did us like a good thing of having free will when Jesus died on the cross for us, right? So he kind of turned like from what we've done, like a bad sin, into like, not saying we should commit sins, but he kind of turned the bad into good. And that's what God is. He turns the bad into good as long as we're willing to take that opportunity. And that's what I want to say. It's like, you know, whatever it is, whatever thing we done or not, we got to see on can how can it be stronger from this, you know? At least that's what I'll think about it. Always relate back to strength when it comes to like these kind of topics. But let me get, yeah, you willing to like expand on it, or like I got another question? What you would think? All right. So relating back to that with strengths and all that, what do you think about like what do you think about this generation? As you gave your thoughts about it, but what are your thoughts on normalizing weakness, like normalizing whatever it is, sins or anything like that, or it's okay to be, you know, this way or anything like that. So what's your thoughts? Like you can expand on a definition of weakness or whatever it is. Yeah. Well, that's the thing about it. It's not just like sin in general with like the devil and all this other stuff that's like trying to tempt us. In general, we kind of do it on our own as well, even if we're not aware. Sometimes you commit it. And, like there's this one quote from Proverbs where it say like if we're talk like just want to relate back like with anger or whatever we feel for people, it's like also with like whatever you built like on who you are and whatnot, it can really affect like the your emotions or your outside world. So it's like I want to say the quote would be oh the quote would be, he who is slow to anger is better than a warrior, and he who controls his temper is greater than one who captures a city. So that's why it kind of relates back to how if you are able to have self control with yourself, whatever it is, temptation and whatnot, I think it would like be like better. You'll be strong. You'll be strong enough to like deal with these things and whatnot. That's why I feel like you gotta like have that guide, God's guide and all that. So that's why I also wanna like have one final question that relates to this. Um and it talks about, do you believe Christians are strong, and in what way do you believe they are strong? Mm-hmm. Bro, it doesn't matter. Like if you're gonna offend people off that, yeah, like what about like if people get offended, like that's on them. And, like just in general, whatever we talk about, it's like their own comfortability. Like we're not here to preach people's comfortability here, or to make them feel, you know, like back to the comfort place. We're here to like preach about like we can grow, like we're able to grow and be strong. whatever it is, whatever we talk about. So, um, yeah, interesting stuff you brought up. Anything else you want to bring up or talk about? Anything, anything interesting? Just want to hear your point. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got you with it. It's just, hmm. I'm not sure if it's archangels, to be honest. I would say it's like, because Buddha, I think it's just like what people are turning into things. Because Buddha wasn't God, he was a human, he was real, but he was a human, you know? He just had like his way of philosophy, just like any other philosopher. But then people turn him into a god. They're always influenced with that stuff, yeah. Like a devil and all that, because it's to erase that name. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of all the input I really have with this so far. It's interesting to touch upon. But yeah, I think I might end it early though. Any other like topics or anything like else that comes to mind? Cool. Well, that's what I want to brush upon. Those are all my questions. It was interesting to hear um what you thought about it. That was kind of my basis right there. The stuff that I came up with is interesting stuff. This one's more like related to, I would say more related to Bible study. Interesting how it is. Cool, cool, cool. Well, we'll call it now. Next, what was it? Mondays when we start with Rye. Yep. All right, and then Friday Boba say. All right, sounds good. We'll do it. Well, you all have a good night. You take care.